And let's take a look at how the two sides will take the field. The home side have just the one change. Ryan Hoffman has been ruled out on medical advice following a bout of severe concussion. His replace on the bench is Greg Inglis in 18. The captain is Robbie Kearns. The coach is Craig Bellamy. The visiting Penrith Panthers have two changes. Luke Rooney is a State of Origin casualty. A cork thigh rules him out. Brett Howland in 21 is his replacement. Frank Pritchard is a late admission. Luke Swain goes into the pack. The new face on the bench is David McLean in a side coached by Johnny Lane. We're underway through the boot of Cameron Smith. It is round 15 of the NRL Telstra Premiership. And much of Penrith's focus will be on Joel Clinton and Ben Ross. They're two big men looking to establish a platform in the opening 20 minutes against a side, Melbourne, that just loves to arm wrestle. Here is Clinton, Robbie Kearns. The opposing number 8 called offside and out of the play as they come the short side through Tread Waterhouse, tackled 6 metres short of halfway. Tackle number 4 from Gower. It's a long ball. Shane Rodney gets into Melbourne territory. That is the final tackle, a gain of 39 metres. Not bad to open the account for the Panthers. And a high swirling ball that is allowed to bounce and bounce out. Luckily for both Jake Webster and Billy Slater, tempting fate perhaps a little early.
Yeah, the bounce of the ball could have actually gone anywhere, but they sort of had it under control, both of the fullback and the winger. Jake Webster there talking to each other about where the ball was coming from. One thing that's interesting to note about the Panthers, though, they do lead the NRL against Melbourne, especially. The stats have taken the ball forward, make plenty of metres down the middle, one run off the ruck.
Stand up. Luke, let's make sure we get our head in there, mate, please. Righto. 2 hands on the ball, ball in. Now that's out.
Melbourne's first opportunity with the football, and this is Stephen Bell. Driven backwards, and they have very bad memories of this Olympic Park. Last time the Panthers were here, it was an absolute flogging in the corresponding round last year. 66 points to 14 in favour of the home side, who received the first penalty.
You want to square, mate, you're to the side.
And a little bit of a piggyback penalty there for the Melbourne Storm. They'll be keen to get off to a good start today in this match. Last week at half-time against the Warriors, down 20 points to 4, and very difficult to try and come back from that situation.
The veteran and captain Robbie Kearns, one of 5 players to have played in every game so far this year for the Storm, was the first man off the ruck. This is Dallas Johnson. Very tough lock forward. The near side they come through Glenn Turner, and a good strong front on tackle. They slip the ball out the back, and Glenn Turner on his hands and knees, just getting to his feet. This is Matt Geyer. Meters are difficult in this opening attacking set for the Storm. Orford, inside ball to Chan. Pops it out the back to Cameron Smith. A loss of possession and a scrappy start for Craig Bellamy's men.
Yeah, it's a pass there that probably Cameron Smith will regret when passing, but good defence now. That's the way they have to respond. Make sure they get off their line very, very quickly. Stop the big men of the Panthers coming out the advantage like that in Ben Ross.
Already you get the feeling both sides are going to be happy playing this one in the middle third of the park. It'll be physical, 2 big packs. Prittis plays the football. Near side they come. Clinton used as the decoy. They find Trent Waterhouse. Last tackle. A gain of 32 to Craig Gower and to the air. Not with the depth the halfback would have liked. Jake Webster with the knock on. 6 again for Penrith and a great attacking opportunity. And they will start the set through Shane Rodney.
It came off the side of the boot, but it ended up being a good kick because it gave the chasers enough time to come to and put pressure on Jake Webster. Penrith, I should say, looking to keep the ball alive.
Here's Wesser. Gower. Off the right boot. Had Waterhouse in support, didn't use him. They are short on this near side. And it is penalty Penrith.
You're holding on, mate. You're holding on. Let him go. Hang on, no mark yet, Luke.
Just trying to slow the play down there, the Storm players. Under pressure now, quick tap taken.
Joel Clinton. Tackle just 2 metres out. backing their ability, a sign of confidence. Gower across field, picks up Fonse. Again, just short of the chalk. Critis at first receiver to Wesser. Waterhouse pops it out the back. There's a hint of a knock on there, allowed to play on. They continue at the line. Danny Galea. Great show of strength from Glenn Turner and Gaia. Campbell. Long ball. They continue the movement, the Panthers, back to their captain. He grubbers ahead. The kick with just too much on it. They back their own ability to go for the try, and they became flustered late in the count.
And they needed to spread the ball out to the left-hand flank quickly, because the way the Melbourne Storm players defend up, they come in very quickly, put some pressure on the man that's receiving the ball. The pass should have been given earlier.
Well, it was Ben Ross. He should have caught the pass. That's what happens when you get big fellas out wide. They can stifle the attack. That was a try gone begging.
Oh, straight through the middle. Big Alex Chan. The ball movement continues. Smith on to Turner. Again, a good front-on shot from Danny Galea. Great defensive combination, Galea. And on this near side wing, Luke Lewis. A bit of a scuffle in back play. Both Ben Ross and Joel Clinton were there defending Penrith's honour. Kearns plays to Smith. A long ball. Cronk to Kidwell. They continue the movement through Stephen Bell. Last tackle. Up we go. And this is Reece Wesser's first test. A monster bomb. It confused all of them. Here's Gaia, who can't quite grab it.
Go, Dan.
Oh,
Go, Dan.
under pressure
Sorry.
there.
Yep.
The Melbourne players
Go, yeah,
both
boys.
in.
Come on.
The
Change
fullback.
over, boys. Last one. Here.
Reece Wesser,
Yeah.
Preston
Come
Campbell.
off, Greg Inglis first.
Just had no idea where the ball was coming from. And you see there, Matt Guy saying, it wasn't me who took the ball out. It was Preston Campbell's left hand that got it between them to kick the ball out.
But there's no doubt that Reece Wesser is going to cop a lot more of that tonight. Didn't really want much to do with it in the end. And fortunately for the Melbourne Storm, the ball bounced away from that guy.
An indication of how difficult the kick was, a spiralling bomb, and also the wind here. All three players that were trying to contest the football missed it by the best part of 2 metres. Just short of the 40-metre line. Near side through Wesser. Inside man is Gower. Tackled by his opposing number, Matt Orford, on the last tackle. They will go to Campbell, the little number 6. Downtown he goes. First chance for Billy Slater in open space. You can feel the energy here at Olympic Park. It lifts. And we have a problem.
Brett, you just put him in a dangerous position, mate.
Brett Howland's the man that comes up. He picks up Billy Slater, picks him up, and then just puts him over. Lucky really for Billy Slater, he doesn't end up on. He just puts out that left hand just to save himself. Brett Howland might be a big problem.
You can see there, if he doesn't put his hand out, it becomes a real dangerous tackle. He lands on his head, so it was the correct decision to penalise him.
Here's Kearns. Out the back to Orford. Tackled right on halfway. That is tackle number 1. Possession in favour of Penrith in the opening 9 minutes. Big Matt King. What a superb Origin game at Telstra Stadium on Wednesday night. He gets the penalty for his side, the Storm. Penalties 3-1 in favour of the hosts.
Yeah, and Luke Lewis gets his hand. Oh, yeah, I thought it was accidental from Luke Lewis, but he did knock the ball out, so fair enough penalty.
Again, no guessing who was the first man to put his hand up. It is again Robbie Kearns. Short side. King. Tackled just 8 metres out. Smith. Oh, good hand shown by Orford onto Chan. The little halfback doing extremely well there. Poor service. Options both sides of the paddock. They opt for the right-hand side. Cronk. Crawling, begging, and scoring. Has been denied by the barest of margins to Orford. Inside runner. Dyer! They are as close as they can possibly get. They are yet to be rewarded. It is still the last. In the hands of Smith. On to Kidwell. He puts boot to ball. That is brilliant. If that's a try, it's not.
I think he's dropped the ball.
What? I just caught the end of that. What a great bit of athleticism from Jake Webster.
David Kidwell put the little kick in. There's the bounce of the ball there. He's up in the air. I tell you what, if he holds the ball, that was going to be a 4-pointer. He did a very, very good job to, one, leap in the air to grab the ball, then try and force it down at the same time. But Kidwell, the big second row on that right-hand flank, put the kick through. Good chase.
Clean up, Robbie. Too long.
Penalty Panthers.
There, mate.
Scoreline remains 0-0. We're in the 11th minute of the match.
You just get the feeling that when the Storm have the ball down in the danger zone of the Panthers, the try line there, there's an opportunity all the time on the edge of the ruck. Panthers coming off their line very, very quickly, and if Orford can promote that ball 2 passes wide, there are some openings on the edge of the ruck.
Both front rowers used as decoys as they play an expansive brand of football from the tap restart. A gain of only 3 or 4 metres, but they went right across the field. This is the 11, Rodney. Movement on the Penrith bench. The interchange players keeping warm. Gower. Here's Clinton. He continues to go this Riverston Junior. Fredis to Gower. Sloppy ball. They continue the movement. It is Howland. Filling in for Luke Rooney tonight. Tackled 8 metres out. Again, they go to their captain. On to Trent Waterhouse.
Very short on the right.
Gower. Campbell. Long ball. Lewis and try. They back themselves, the Penrith Panthers. They open the scoring here at Olympic Park. It is the visitors 4, the home side 0 after 12 minutes, kick to come.
Put this down to Paul Fronze on the left-hand side. He picked up beautiful ball, gave it to Howland. But this is the last part of the try. Beautiful pass by Preston Campbell. He had to take the ball, slow himself down, then come back inside to score the try.
Yeah, it's the lateral ball movement that caused problems for the Melbourne Storm. As you mentioned, Gary, they took the defence across to the far side of the field, then very quickly brought it back to this side. In the end, great pass, Preston Campbell, and the footwork from Luke Lewis. Big fella with a tremendous step, gets over the line to score. First points for the Penrith Panthers.
The bearded Preston Campbell. 2 from 3 last week. Started it out to the right, coming back, just not enough. Hits the upright. A good strike nonetheless. It goes unrewarded. And the scoreline remains Penrith 4, Melbourne 0.
Doesn't take a lot of time with his kicks. Puts the ball down, lines it up, walks back, then goes to pot it. Maybe that extra couple of seconds, Wayne, might just help a little bit. I'll tell you, it's a good fight here. A good game of football so far. The opening 14 minutes.
It is, and both sets of forwards are really engaging each other aggressively. They're putting their bodies on the line. They realise it's a crunch match. Penrith, they're only on 10 competition points, sitting in 13th position. They're only just ahead of South Sydney and the winless Newcastle. They need a win tonight to kickstart their season. They lose tonight and virtually say that's curtains for the semi-finals.
I know it's only round 15 in the competition, but we are in the second half, and I agree with you, Junior. I think the season is over if they don't win here tonight.
Yeah, statistically they could probably afford to lose and still make it, but they need the confidence. They win down here, they can beat Melbourne on their home turf. It's a big plus.
Great play. Waterhouse busting through the line, having players of the Storm laying over top of him, gets the penalty.
He's trying to get a jump.
He's playing well, isn't he? Watch this here. He forces himself, trying to get up to play the ball. The referee can see then that's a penalty straight away.
And that's the problem that Melbourne are going to have all night. Penrith come over that advantage line like this with speed, and they look to play the ball quick. And that causes Melbourne problems because they're backpedaling on them.
Hold.
Ben Ross still running with the same enthusiasm, passion and drive
Letting
as
go
what
now.
he displayed at Telstra Stadium Wednesday night. One of Queensland's most powerful forwards. Here we go again, back over to this right-hand side to Preston Campbell. Acting as the inside man again. Good running and angle running from Danny Galea in the number 3. Wesser inside the 10 metres. Looking for someone to link up with. There were no bodies in motion that time. Tackle number 4, Campbell. Long ball to Gower. Right off the left hip. Good ball that was to Ben Ross. It is dropped and in the hands of Billy Slater. Anything can happen.
I'll tell you what, Craig Gower, a little bit unlucky there, got that short ball. There's a penalty. Holding down once again. Shane Hayne's been very, very strong on that so far in the first 40 minutes. Luke Swain, the man, giving away the penalty. And Billy Slater just trying to suck in the big ones. Had a tremendous game Wednesday night too. Slater, Smith, King all backing up. Oh, what a run, Robbie Kearns.
And a good right shoulder put on there by Trent Waterhouse, should I say. Short side through King. Lifted up and driven by Danny Galea. Here's Turner, has recovered from that earlier setback and gets a good ball away to Dallas Johnson. Beats Wesser, gets the hand off to Geyer, loses his footing. It is extremely slippery centre field. Opportunity if they spin the ball. That's what Orford is looking to do. He goes to Cronk, a long ball to Bell. On his outside is Webster. Finally gets the ball up. Webster is taken to ground by Craig Gower.
Brett Howland. Hang on. Hang on. Brett, you've come in bare hard. You don't need to. Hang on.
Another infringement for the flop.
Hang on. Hang on. Hang on.
I'll try and desperately now to get Paul Franze back at the defensive line for the Panthers. He got injured in that last tackle. Once again, Robbie Kearns putting his hand up, leading by example. Watch out for Orford now on this left-hand flank.
Here is the number 7. A sharp ball to Jamie Feeney, the former Bulldog, spits it out the back to Cameron Smith. And his opposing number halts his progress just short. Burns, the front rower with a dummy. Not taken by Joel Clinton. Another penalty. Again, it is to Melbourne.
Yep. Mate, we've had a number of penalties. A lot of them are in the ruck area, but we've had a couple for other things. You need to go back and talk to your teammate. I'll give you a second. Right? General discipline around that ruck area. I can't keep blowing penalties. We're going to play the game down here. Okay? Good. You tell them, mate. You tell them.
As a good captain would go straight back to his players and tell them, let's work with the referee. Don't know if he really meant it, Craig Gower, but he did say it.
The message was passed on, Riz.
That's all he has to do as a captain.
Very theatrical. That impresses the referee.
Orford.
Great
ball.
ball.
Good ball to Geyer. Can't get past Campbell. Does get the ball back infield. It is swallowed up by Luke Lewis. And on tackle number 1, a massive error from the Melbourne Storm.
Yeah, they've tried to work the short side a number of times in this game. Matty King and Guy obviously feel they've got a little bit of an advantage out here, but that's the second or third time they've almost gone into touch. On that occasion, they lost the football.
Here's Wesser. Fast approaching the 20-minute mark. Prittis inside the 30. Downfield. And a long kick. Billy Slater giving the ball every opportunity. And a great and enthusiastic kick chase by the Panthers. The kick was a good one. Wiz, the chase even better.
Oh, good work by Luke Prittis to jump out of the dummy half area. He knew that the Storm, the way they defend, they get up in the face of the opposition. You keep turning them around, and that'll slow some of the big guys up as now Brent White comes onto the field for the Storm.
Melbourne have dominated, should I say Penrith have dominated time with the football, 54% to the Melbourne Storm's 46. But the completion rate is arguably the most impressive statistic. 9 of 10 for the Panthers so far, just 7 of 11 for the Melbourne Storm.
Marcus, lock it in.
Last tackle, again of 52. Orford punches it down this near side corner. Preston Campbell taken and taken well by both Matt King and Jamie Feeney.
That's a good ploy there by the Storm to go to the line. Matt Orford putting the ball along the ground, having the onside chase. No one's in an offside position, making the tackle very easily. Good run, Ben Ross.
Hold!
A double punt to Joel Clinton. Not expecting that ball.
That's good defence for the Melbourne Storm. They jam their defensive line up. They get up in your face. Penrith struggling to get over that advantage line.
Speaking of the advantage line, Craig Gower, Gary, running to the advantage line. We've seen early part of the season when he wasn't playing with a lot of confidence, playing very much the catch and pass game. That's not the case tonight.
No, it's not, and that's what's got. Here's Slater.
Here he goes. Great tackle there, big Jolie Clinton. What's a prop doing wrapping up Billy the Kid?
Well, I'm telling you that he was lucky that Joel Clinton was going down the middle of the field where he was supposed to go, just holding his line. Slater trying to cut them apart, just didn't do it. And it's a go wide now, Storm.
Here's Stephen Bell. Well tackled by opposing centre Paul Fronze. Getting in the way there, I think, was David Kidwell. Onto Matt Orford it goes. This is Brett White, Billy Slater, playing a numbers game through Matt King. Luke Lewis, the defender there, doing an admirable job. Short ball to Johnson.
Great tackle, great tackle. Rodney was the man.
Here's Cameron Smith, trying something himself, finds Matt King, who finds the line. His form continues from State of Origin, and it was Matt King, who's all of about 6'3" or 6'4", up against Preston Campbell, who defends on this right-hand side, well read by Cameron Smith.
They've been going down the side in the last probably 4 or 5 sets of 6. They come out nice and wide, and they are targeting the smallest man on the field, Preston Campbell, wearing the number 6 jersey, but playing on the wing, Matt King, too big and too strong. Great cut-out pass. Over the top he goes, gets out. Great form.
The man they call the Ox, his feet are actually on the athletics track. He steps onto the grass, fires away, coming back, just not enough. Entertaining game of football here. 4 points all between Melbourne and Penrith.
Yeah, great work. Look, that cut-out pass there really did seal it. When Cameras has jumped out, the defence of the Panthers was standing on their line. They had to sort of try to adjust their defensive line. They couldn't. Luke Lewis in that centre position. Once the ball had gone past him, there's no stopping Matt King there for the Storm. Great kick-off.
Certainly was. It made Cameron Smith very aware of where the dead-end goal line was and also where the goalpost was. As a result, the Storm tackled inside their own 10 for the opening tackle. This is White, the former Dragon. Near side, they come to a former Bulldog, Jamie Feeney, who, along with Dennis Scott, left Belmore and headed down to Olympic Park at the end of 2004. David Kidwell.
And have a look at that ball movement from the Melbourne Storm. They're looking to attack Penrith wide at every opportunity. 1 and 2 passes wide, they feel they've got their measure.
Here's Bell. Webster on his outside. Let's see what the winger can do. He has support on the inside. Goes himself. Managed to beat Reece Wesser, but is trapped by Brett Howland. They need to spin it. Orford kicks across. Geyer loses his footing. And again, on the last tackle, just perhaps a little frustration.
A banana kick when he didn't need a banana kick there on that occasion, Matty Guy. But I thought that Jake Webster on the far side bombed a try because he had Cooper Cronk back on the inside, unmarked. Yeah, back on the inside, we can see Cooper Cronk trailing. Oh, he's back off camera, but I thought there was a try if he had a pass. And as a result, Matty Orford on the last tackle takes the option of putting the ball to the air, but it wasn't the best kind of kick. Matty Guy slipped over. Penrith in possession.
Luke Lewis taking it first up from the Scrumbos. Oh, slammed to the ground. That's Dallas Johnson. Make no mistake about that.
What about that?
And a good shot on Shane Rodney. It has rocked him and reeled him enough. He was unsteady getting to his feet. Oh, I like the way this boy tackles.
This could be one of the turning points in this game. Storm versus the Panthers. And just what Cooper Cronk get in there nice and tight in with the shoulder. There wasn't a lifting tackle.
Two hands, stay there, Craig.
Dallas Johnson, I should say, and Cooper Cronk.
Great opportunity for Melbourne.
That's one, Craig,
Doesn't this guy continue to impress? Stephen Bell. Kidwell. He's travelled around a couple of NRL clubs as well as a stint in the Super League in the UK. Is comfortable in these Melbourne colours now. David Kidwell. Jamie Feeney's tackle. Smith to Warford. Inside man is Kearns. Ball off to Johnson. Ball lost. And it is a knock-on tackle number 2. They are showing plenty at the moment, the Melbourne Storm. They are just not being able to control the ball as Craig Bellamy would like.
Yeah, it's one thing that the Storm do so well, though. They are willing to promote the ball. They get near the try line. They are going to throw everything at you. They'll leave anything behind them. They do make a lot of mistakes, but tell you what, if their passes start sticking, watch out, and the scoreline could be anything. He's impressed me with this boy.
Danny Galea.
Danny Galea, he has had a fine opening season in 2005. Strong defender.
Same age as Luke Lewis, both Blacktown City juniors in Sydney's West. Wouldn't have those two terrorised junior teams for a run?
I said they would. But just his approach to the game, he doesn't let anyone intimidate him.
No, you're spinning around. You're spinning around.
Completion rates, the Storm 10 of 15. The Panthers have been exceptional, 10 of 12.
We've already had 10 penalties, and most of them have been in the ruck area for either trying to turn the player around or trying to slow the ball down. I don't think it's been that bad myself.
Yeah, but it's going to continue. I mean,
Both
both
these
these
packs.
packs.
Junior's going to be 20 penalties.
Well,
in the
it's going to continue. The referee's got to bin a couple of players. That's the only message, the way they're going to get the message. But they're both struggling at each other to try and get up and play the ball quick. That's the way both of these packs of forwards hunt.
Far side. Good defensively on Reece Wessel was David Kidwell there. This is the 11, Shane Rodney. Looking to make amends for that earlier mistake. Tackle number 2, they go to Gower. Inside man is Waterhouse. He goes to the outside through David McLean. Wesser. Gower. Here's Waterhouse. That is great defensive work. Billy Slater, Cameron Smith and company. Trent Waterhouse is a big unit. And they did extremely well.
We've got time out. Take it out, mate.
Great work here by Gower going across the ruck area. Look at Billy Slater just getting himself involved. And does he get the ball down? No. Good decision by Shane Hayne.
How strong is Billy Slater? I mean, on that occasion, there was a mountain of a man, Trent Waterhouse, puts his body on the line, Billy Slater, and if he doesn't do that, doesn't show that strength, it's a try time.
Campbell to the air, a gain of 25 metres, batted back and safely into the hands of Cooper Cronk. But we have a problem. The far side touch judges in. That's Pat Reynolds.
Yeah, mate, I don't know what he's for. I don't know what it's for yet, is it?
Mate, on the kick, he's coming back into the attacker coming through and blocking him.
Who are we talking about?
Bell, Melbourne.
Okay. Steve? Thanks, mate. Hey, Robbie, just tone it down. You don't know what it's for yet. Just no.
As the chase is coming through, he's backing into the line of the runners and interfering with the player.
Okay, thanks. I'll give you a choice here. Not a choice, but I'm telling you, take the medicine. When it's up in the air, you play for the ball, but don't back in and block players coming in the ball, okay? You can stand in the position first, but if you're not there early enough, it's going to be a penalty. Okay? Clear?
For a winner.
Yep.
That's what every team
No.
does.
Yep.
You hear Robbie Kearns here saying that's what every team does. You stand your ground, you protect your winger. I think they're a little bit hard done by. Now the Panthers go on attack once again. They've had a lot of success taking the ball across the field, turning players back inside. Watch Craig Gower to pick up the man inside.
Big Garrett Crossman takes the ball to ground. Prittis, Gower. On to Waterhouse. He's on the end of a good ball from Preston Campbell. Tackle number 2. 4-all here at Olympic Park. The captain. They have numbers. Here's Clinton. Long place for a front rower to be, and he is ridden to the ground. And the ball is popped out. Tackle number 3. 5 metres out from the try line, Melbourne survive.
Well, like an old coach of mine used to say, you don't have trombones in the violin section. Out wide, no place for front rowers. It just stifles the attack. And you can see here they had an overlap. They had a two-man overlap, but the ball died as soon as it went to Clinton. And in the end, he comes up with the error.
Yeah, look at David Kidwell there on the edge of the ruck, just clapping the players, just saying that was tremendous work.
Also tremendous there, Reece Wesser in a front-on shot on Jake Webster, assisted by David McLean. This is Jamie Feeney. And now an opportunity for Penrith to shorten up their line and really muscle up. Shane Holmes had enough, another penalty.
I've brought help, and you're not the captain. There you go.
Yeah, but that's difficult. I mean, it's difficult because when you're in a situation like that, engaged, fully concentrating, you can't hear the referee say held sometimes. So you've got to feel a little bit of sympathy there for the Penrith side.
Here's Kearns. Straight into Danny Galea and Luke Lewis. Dennis Scott onto the field in 14 for the Melbourne Storm. At his first hit up of the night. Here's Matt King, the try scorer for the hosts. It has been Penrith's defence that has let them down this year. The line has been solid tonight. Broken just the once by Matt King on this far side. Orford, Feeney, Wesser right around the hips. Geyer, last tackle. Orford takes them on himself. And we're going to go upstairs.
Just check the grounding, thanks, Mick. A little bit obscured there by tackle 5 and last.
What about Matt Orford? He just knew they were reeling. He had him on the back foot. He said, give me the second play. He put the beautiful pass on to Jamie Feeney on this left-hand side and then pushes himself through the line. And does he get the ball down on the line? I think he's let it go.
No.
I think Clinton, no try.
Change over, boys. Yep, up in the change over. Yep.
Johnny Lang, the most animated, perhaps, of all 15 NRL coaches. Little pep talk on the sideline, asked student Clinton just to move up to the front row for a slight address. Here's Rodney.
You know, when you talked about, Andy, the way they have been defending the missed tackles for the Panthers, they are running around about 9th in the competition, averaging just under 35 missed tackles a game. They certainly have controlled that here so far.
Riz already the 15 tonight to Melbourne 6. Luke Critter slow to get to his feet. It appears to be the right knee. Waterhouse tackled. 10 hit-ups, 16 tackles for Big Trent tonight. He leads both categories statistically for the Panthers.
Now, that's the problem for Penrith on a number of occasions tonight, is the fact that they're kicking to Kelly Slater or Matt Geyer or Jake Webster on the full, and they're linking up and creating problems on the kick reception, so now they gain an extra 20 metres on the kick return.
Well, there's troubles here for the Panthers. Luke Prittis, he's in all sorts of trouble. He's come to the wing on the right-hand side, so he's playing outside Preston Campbell, now moving back into the centres, struggling with a right arm injury.
So defending on this near side are a 5'8", a right winger and a hooker. Orford dummies a couple of times. Cooper Cronk, he couldn't find his 5'8", took the ball to ground, a gain of 49 metres. Last tackle. Downfield they go. Bounce is a good one for Reece Wesser.
What about the chase? What about the chase?
But have a look at the difference between the kick and chase of Melbourne Storm versus Penrith tonight. That's the real problem facing Penrith. They get that in order, and they're every chance of going on with this game, but they can't afford to continue to sacrifice so much yardage on the kick chase game.
Fronze plays the ball. This is Frank Pulatua. Alex Chan back on for the Storm, and big Brett White gets a rest. Just over 7 minutes remain in the half as Gower looks to get his troops out of trouble and does it by the barest of margins. Didn't have a lot of room on that kick. Jake Webster's even a bit confused, suggesting it may have gone out on the full.
He's unsure, isn't he? Looking for the touchy to come up with some sort of decision. They have. They'll come up with a scrum, but plenty of pressure by the Storm players on Craig Gower. Wouldn't surprise me if Craig Gower, the next couple of sets of 6, just inside the line there, decides to run the ball, Wayne Pearce, because I think all those players are chasing up so quickly, there's an opportunity on the edge.
Yeah, they've been putting a lot of pressure on him, and as you say, there's the option to run the football will cause problems for the Melbourne Storm.
Stand up. Time out, boys. Stand up, boys. Just walk back. Just walk. You get your arm around. Thank you. Righto. Righto, boys. Wally.
Big week for our referee Shane Hayne, or Kev as he's known amongst his colleagues, posing nude for charity up on the Central Coast. Thankfully only portions of that, or the right camera angle, was exposed in our big league program this week, but the referees doing their part for charity.
It's great to see, isn't it? The referees putting their hands up, helping the charities out. Tremendous.
What's great to see? A referee nude or doing it for charity?
Doing it for charity.
Thank you, Gary.
Bit chilly on the Central Coast
This
this
could be
week
a
too.
40-20.
Big kick from Orford. Doesn't get the bounce. Wesser can't get around Jake Webster. Hasn't this young bloke grown in confidence? And as a result, his game has lifted immeasurably.
This is the biggest thing about the Stormers. When they know they're just trying to get you on the edge, they'll sprint out of the line, they'll put pressure on you because they know that you're going to just run out of dummy half. They make quick tackles, and there, the Panthers now on their nearly fourth tackle and only made 10 to 12 metres.
Gower. Opportunity now if they can continue it. Galea. Taken to the ground by Matt King. Just 27 metres made. Gower off the outside part of the boot. And again, it's time for Billy the Kid to take centre stage. Too many Panthers limiting his opportunities and metres.
I think they've been listening to Wayne Pearce. They've really tidied that up, and that kick chase wasn't the best kicks, but they had a good straight line, and that's what they put you on the pressures. Bell goes through the middle again.
You gave him a little rap a little early on, Andy, but I think he is one of the most underrated players in the competition, Stephen Bell. Every single time he touches the football, he looks as though he's going to break the line. He causes enormous headaches for the opposition.
13 line breaks so far this year coming into this match. Here's Geyer, loses his footing to Feeney, ball out the back to Kearns. That's enterprising play from the Storm. Short side, King, Geyer, try! Matt King scored the first one, he set up the second. We'll go to the video, but it appears Melbourne have hit the lead for the first time.
Well, that's an area that they've been targeting in the first half, down their left-hand side, which is the right-hand side defensively for the Penrith side. And does he get the ball down? Not a problem. And that's why I always say it's very difficult for a 5'8" to defend on the wing. Have faith in him, put him where he should be. Put him where he should be.
And it's a try to Matty Geyer. Number 8 so far for the season after debuting with the Western Reds, and also in the shadow of the bad boy, Big Brother Mark. This young man has developed into arguably one of the most consistent and underrated footballers in the NRL over the last couple of years.
Yeah, off broken field play, the Melbourne Storm, one of the best teams in the competition. They had the Penrith Panthers all over the place in defence, as you said, Gary.
8 points to 4. Matt Orford with an identical kick to the one he attempted earlier. And it is the same result, struck it poorly. Big night for two guys out here tonight. I speak of both Billy Slater and Cameron Smith. Both these young Queenslanders, 22 today. So Billy and Cameron Smith looking to light the candles and start a party here at Olympic Park. It looks all right so far, 8-4 in favour of the hosts.
Yeah, one of the issues that the Panthers, just in the last probably 5 to 10 minutes of the first half, is around the ruck area. The inside balls from Matt Orford is just starting to find some little holes, and then they back up on the edge of the ruck. Something that the Panthers will have to address at half-time.
Always a big night for Matt Geyer playing against Penrith. He was a Penrith junior, a Cambridge Park junior, to be specific. And here he is with the football in hand, linking up. Dallas Johnson centre field.
They've got to keep going out to the right-hand side. Webster in there at dummy half. Guy.
Cooper Cronk breaks the advantage line. Slater on the inside. Bell was there, so too Webster. The 5/8 opportunities somewhat limited. Orford over the top. No one at home for the Panthers. Gower gets the good bounce. And all but dies with the football with Dallas Johnson bearing down on him.
Yes, good scrambling defence there by Penrith. Cooper Cronk had the option of passing the football back on the inside. Saw Luke Prittis there chasing in defence. May have been on, may have not been on, but give Penrith credit for the way that they scrambled back and shut down the Melbourne Storm attack, because from situations such as that, 9 times out of 10, Melbourne will make you pay.
Just look at the Panthers there, all in a big bunch. They're on tackle 4 now. This will be tackle 5. Craig Gallen, he'll be under all sorts of pressure to make sure he gets away. A good kick here. Watch the Storm here chase Craig, chase very hard.
A big defensive set required by Penrith, and a good kick from Gower. It ends up with Billy Slater on the second or third bounce. He tries to go around the line. Doesn't succeed this time. If the Storm start well, they generally win. If they don't, they struggle. And for you Bunnings statisticians, when Melbourne have led at half-time so far this year, they have won every single game, yet to be pinned from behind.
Watch this left-hand side once again here. They jump out of dummy half.
Luke Lewis has been turned around. Matt King is behind him, so too Matt Geyer.
Well, what I find remarkable about the scoreline at the moment, 8 points to 4, Melbourne over Penrith, is the fact that Penrith have missed 24 tackles and are only behind by 8 points to 4. I mean, you would normally expect 25 tackles now. 25 tackles to the Storm 6 and only trail 8 points to 4. I mean, that's a blessing in disguise for Coach Johnny Lang, who will certainly have some words for his team at half-time on their defensive performance.
The 18 is David McLean. Was originally the player named as the standby. Frank Pritchard pulling out, short ball to Howland. Inside man is Rodney. Rodney continues, there's Prittis. Opportunity Penrith as the siren sounds. It ends up in the hands of Matt Orford. And that ends it in an entertaining but low scoring opening 40 minutes. At half-time, it is the Storm 8, the Panthers 4. Here we go, second half of action. It is round 15 of the NRL Telstra Premiership, the Storm and the Panthers. Dennis Scott put onto his backside in a strong front-on tackle. Paul Fronze, and Scott takes exception to the tackle. There's Fronze, one of a number of former Cronulla Sharks in this Penrith outfit. Towards the 30, the Storm muscle through Alex Chan, driven backwards by Trent Waterhouse. A 3-man Panthers tackle. A strong defensive start to the half for Penrith. Here's Kearns. Dropping down into Shane Rodney and over the top. There's, of course, Garrett Crossman in 14 and a deep kick to Reece Wesser with plenty of metres in front of him. I guess, Wes, in that opening exchange, it's advantage Penrith.
Well, that it would be. The way they did come out and start the second half defensively in that first set of 6 has been very, very strong. But for Reece Wesser to bring the ball back, and on the third tackle, they're already 45 metres off their own try line. I think whatever John Lang has said to them at half-time about how they got to be a bit more probably enterprising and more commitment in running the ball forward, I think we've already seen that in the first set.
Well, I think the real commitment's got to be shown in defence. That's where they lacked in that first half. That's where Melbourne really capitalised, failed to put them on the deck.
Here's Waterhouse, a good backline movement. A couple of the wide running back rowers into the mix as well. Long ball to Campbell. Gower's in front of him, so Preston kicks. Howland, v. Webster, batted back. Still the last, Gower, another grubber. King is there. In fact, it is Stephen Bell. Good defensive work from Brett Howland. Also Luke Prittis there, who is still showing signs of carrying an injury, the number 9. This is Bell. Almost breaking through, making metres, getting it off to Slater. It's been called back. Oh, a chorus of boos.
I thought that ball was all right. I had no problems with that ball whatsoever. Bell just struggling to get through the defensive line, and then he could hear Billy Slater on his left-hand side. Here he is struggling. There's Billy. There's the ball. Oh, that's play on.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
But it just shows you Shane Hayne really 5 to 10 metres behind the line. Shouldn't have adjudicated on that one.
Campbell grabbing across field.
What a battle that would have been.
You're moving the head of
Ressa on Slater, one-on-one.
A cracker. Here's Crossman. Played in every game for the Panthers this year, yet to score a try. Campbell. Frank Pulatua in 15, and wouldn't they love brother Tony out there, gone for the year. Tore a pectoral muscle. Gower, short ball to Trent Waterhouse. Craig has had bodies in motion, the best part of tonight, and it takes something just so simple. You can have all the bodies in motion you like, you can put on the razzle-dazzle. Luke Prittis gets exactly the same result.
But it all goes back to that pass by Bell to Slater. If that is allowed, then you'd find that the Melbourne Storm are right down the other end of the field. But this is the try scored by a very, very smart hooker. And Luke Prittis, look at that pass there. Throws the dummy, then gets over between Alex Chan and Matt Orford.
Preston Campbell not taking a great deal of time. And if it works, why fix it? After just 4 minutes, it is now advantage Penrith. They lead by 2, 10-8 in favour of the visitors.
And here's the pace that was called back by Shane Hayne. You could just see Billy Slater right there. This is the try. That's where Shane Hayne was. When Billy Slater ran 10 metres, Shane Hayne was just in that position. Luke Prittis, very, very smart individual around that dummy half area. Come up with a good try for the Panthers. Oh, Craig Gower nearly dropped the ball. Crossman now has to take it up about 9 metres off his own try line.
And the irony is, with regards to Luke Prittis coming up with his 50th try and setting a record for, or a milestone, I should say, for a hooker play, is that most of his tries, I would dare say 70-75% of his tries are exactly the same from that within 5 metres of the opposition try line, out of dummy half, and the opposition just go to sleep. He knows when to run.
And that's exactly what he did there. Almost through the line that time. The man they call Muttley. Here's Gower. Inside runner is Rodney. His metres were exceptional in the opening half. And that is his 13th hit up of the night so far. Down to Preston Campbell. No 40-20 here. Jake Webster takes it awkwardly on the bounce and heads back into the line. Back into Gower, Pulatua and Fronze.
That's one thing that the Panthers certainly have fixed up since the first half. Their defensive line getting up very, very quick and putting pressure on anyone bringing the ball back.
Well, it helps when you're kicking the ball and it finds open field as well. And the kick reception of Billy Slater, Jake Webster and Guyer aren't catching the football on the full. It gives the chasing team that much more time to get down there as Melbourne kick on early tackles.
Reece Wesser forced to cover a lot of ground. He does and ends up back on his own in goal. Can't get round fellow Queenslander Cameron Smith, an exceptional chase. And the Panthers are slowly coming back in support.
What's so good about that chase? He was the man who put the kick down the field and has raced 50 metres to make the tackle on Wesser.
Here's Howland putting his hand up, the man they call the Whippet. Luke Prittis there complaining about the use of a grapple tackle. We will keep an eye on that. This is Frank Pulatua. Penalty Penrith. That undoes all of that intensity Melbourne showed in defence.
There was no second movement. Let me worry about it.
Luke Lewis just grabbing that left hand. Maybe a wrist injury there. Doesn't look all that good. Gower puts it out, now on the 40.
Wait here, wait.
There's the penalty that's given against. Once again, Pulatua struggling to get to his feet, and that's why the referee had to give the penalty.
Yeah, great work by Frank Pulatua on that occasion, forcing the issue, forcing the referee to make a decision, and now they're back in a great attacking position.
14 penalties so far, 7 each in 50 minutes or thereabouts of football. They lead by 2, the visitors. Short side. Before is Fronzo. Gower. Cut-out ball goes on to David McLean. Garrett acting half. Campbell. He puts boot to ball. Short in goals here in Melbourne. Billy Slater forced to play at it. No points for the Panthers, but the next best result, a repeat set of 6.
Yeah, very good play. Once again, just a quick play of the ball, playing on the back of that. Preston Campbell going to the line, putting the kick in. Billy Slater, as you pointed out, had to play it at the last moment. Once again, it's the chasing team that's putting pressure on the likes of Billy Slater. And makes them make a decision. Now Matt Offord looks to drop out.
Let's go, Matt.
2 great fullbacks on display tonight. Billy Slater and Reece Wesser, both Queenslanders, both with 11 tries so far this year, and second in the NRL native behind Bronco Sean Berrigan. The crowd claiming there was a forward pass there. Some second phase footy ends up in the hands of Frank Pritchard, who was tackled 18 metres out. Getting a kick in the thigh was Luke Prittis as they struggled on the ground. Here is Trent Waterhouse. Tackle number 2. They are short by just 3 metres. Deep as Campbell. Gower. Rodney. Wesser. Taken well by Bell at first marker. 10 points to 8. Tackle number 4. Gower. Rodney. Howland and try. Good ball movement from the Penrith Panthers. They extend their lead at Olympic Park.
And there was plenty of defenders there for the Melbourne side. They just got up their line, off their line very, very quickly, but they all rushed into where the ball carrier was holding the ball. They went 2 passes wide, and then the winger. Just watch everyone target Craig Gower, then Rodney. Beautiful one-handed pass out to Howland. Try for the Panthers.
Yeah, poor communication in defence here. The Melbourne Storm left a David Howland out, Brett Howland, I should say, out wide, unmarked. They all rushed in tight. As you pointed out, Gary, coming in looking to shut down Craig Gower. They couldn't do so and come up with the try. But the Penrith Panthers this second half, they're on a mission. They've come out with a totally different attitude and are really, really putting the acid on the Melbourne Storm.
As Matt Orford was earlier, Preston Campbell starts his run up on the athletics track, surrounding the field here at Olympic Park, and he has slotted it from the sideline. The difference with under 30 minutes remaining is now 8 points, 16-8 in favour of the visitors.
Oh, what about Preston Campbell? He's really starting to inject himself into the game. One with the kicking along the ground and turning the Storm around, and then that beautiful kick from the sideline. Well, that's the man who scored the try, Brett Howland. Very, very quick winger.
The restart play yet again. It's happening all too often for Craig Bellamy's liking. Garrett Crossman, first man up. A lot of rumours, a lot of gossip around this Melbourne club as the silly season intensifies. Matt Orford again has been linked with rival clubs. Initially it was Manly. That seems to have fallen through. Now South Sydney, with the Rabbitohs' intentions becoming increasingly clear over the last fortnight of a huge deal to Matt Orford and Braith Anasta. He's a man you can't lose if you have premiership aspirations, Wizzer.
Well, you can't, because they are the people that steer your team around the paddock. You have the big men that will go forward, but the likes of Gower and Orford, they're the ones you want in your team. You build your team around your halves and your 5/8s. Here goes Slater. Good return. Preston Campbell. I told you he can defend. He can defend with the best of them. Get him in the middle of the ruck.
Long ball out to Matt Geyer. Pops it back on the inside to his centre partner, Matt King. Set up one try, scored the other tonight. A little bit of treatment there from Trent Waterhouse. The 15 is Jamie Feeney. Cut down by Campbell, loses the ball, playing it. Tackle number 3 in their own territory. A scrum is ruled.
And that's the problem for the Storm so far. 8 errors to the Penrith's 3 errors. Playing the ball, just dropped the ball cold. Jamie Feeney trying to get the quick play of the ball. The onus is on the player who's playing the ball to play it properly.
Craig Bellamy looking at that. Frustrated as we look at the errors, just the 3 from the Panthers, and the completion rate. The Panthers' numbers exceptional. 24 out of 27, Junior, in anyone's language. That's great numbers.
Well, they've had a flood of possession in this second half in particular. The Melbourne Storm haven't yet had an attacking set at Penrith, and it's just, you can see the confidence growing in this Penrith side. They're supporting one another better than they did in the first half. The defence has picked up. Their kicking game's even picked up. And Melbourne are really on the rack at the moment.
Tackle number 4, 20 metres out. Playing the ball as Waterhouse. Goes to Gower. On to Crossman. The substitute front rower doing well. Rotation system being used wisely by John Langas. Gower goes to the air, a banana kick. Out the back, it is flung by Howland. Rodney puts boot to ball. Slater is there, going nowhere fast. Dragged down by Brett Howland. The 2 little bantamweights have a push and shove as they get to their feet.
As you do. You don't want to let the State of Origin fullback away from you. And Brett Howland coming forward to make an attack.
Penrith's biggest positive has just happened. Off the field comes Pulatur and Crossman, who have been exceptional in both work ethic and workload. And their 2 first-string front rowers, I speak of Joel Clinton and this man, Ben Ross, are back after a lengthy stint on the sideline. Their energy and power will be a massive asset. Here's Clinton.
That's a good run by Joel Clinton too.
Campbell running the ship on that right-hand side. Couldn't quite get past Dennis Scott. Prentice to Gower. Good combination, the 9 and 7. Likewise, the number 1, Reece Wesser, who bumps off a couple. Kicks on the 3rd. Lewis tries to bat it back in. Lack of communication between the fullback and his outside men.
Yeah, on that occasion, it was the right idea, but just lack of anticipation, I think, on that occasion as well. The kick was the right idea. It was a little bit heavy, and gives Melbourne Storm an opportunity now to try and work their way back upfield. It's been all Penrith this second half. They've had all the possession. Their defence has picked up. They haven't missed a tackle in this second half. And Melbourne just struggling to get over that advantage line. The Penrith defence is really starting to muscle up. As we can see there, Storm have missed 8 tackles in this second half, and the Panthers have yet to miss one. And so it's been a reversal of what was happening in the first half.
Good short ball to Brett White. Tackled just short of halfway. They continue it through King. 3 Penrith defenders there to stop the movement. A gain of exactly 50 metres. They go to Warford. Across field he goes. A little too deep the kick, but well chased by Cooper Cronk, who one-on-one handles Reece Wesser.
But also another thing that Penrith are doing in the second half is putting pressure on the kickers, on Matty Orford, and that's causing problems for his kicking game, not as accurate as it was in the first half.
Good right shoulder there from White on David McLean, and the Storm are muscling up. Ben Ross wrestled to the ground.
They can't afford to give away a penalty here like they did the last time.
Joel Clinton, Craig Gower. On to Trent Waterhouse again, tackle number 5. A very modest gain, just 15 metres. Campbell, downtown he goes. They need a great chase here. Slater gets a decent bounce, unloads to Webster, who in turn finds Geyer. The Penrith chase that they required was there.
That's the biggest thing about the Panthers and their turnaround, especially in the second half. If you can starve the Storm side of the ball, you will force them to make mistakes.
Tackle number 2, the Storm lost the ball. It was Jake Webster. His teammates blew up, and the penalty now goes to Penrith.
And this is the big danger for the Melbourne Storm, is their frustration. They felt they were hard done by on this occasion. I thought he'd sort of lost the football. Oh, actually, probably didn't lose the football, but their frustration's the thing that they've got to guard against. That takes their focus off the game. They worry about chastising them and working the referee rather than getting back to basics.
Here's Ross again. Hit up number 11. 12 tackles for the Queensland front rower. Gower. Campbell. Cut out pass. Finds Franze. Wrestled into touch. That's a show of strength on this near side. Good, strong defensive work there by Jake Webster.
And that's what they needed. The Storm, they needed their players to stand up defensively after making that mistake. And the man that dropped the ball, Jake Webster, he was the one who had to make the tackle. He didn't want to have a try pinned against his team. Here he comes up nice and quick. Franze's the man. He looks to try and get the ball back inside. Then a big bear hug. Stephen Bell's been flattened.
Mate, the arm went up here, just grab him across the face, just try and get your arms down, mate, okay?
He certainly let go Reece Wesser there, but the initial contact was high.
Look, that's a penalty.
Yep.
That's all it needs. End of story.
Certainly get no argument here. Bell with the restart, finds Kidwell. David Kidwell is the man most likely to ignite this Melbourne Storm fight back. Plays with a lot of passion, a lot of commitment, and is an inspirational player that his teammates look up to. Another piggybacking penalty. 9-8 the penalties in favour of Melbourne. Feeney.
We haven't seen a lot of Matt Orford. He's got to inject himself into the game to take control.
Well, it's been difficult for him because this second half they haven't had decent field position. They've been struggling to get out of their own line. And the second time, now is the second time that they've been down in the Penrith half.
Here's Cronk. On to Bell. They are just missing that second option of Scott Hill, who underwent ankle surgery last week before the Warriors game, out for an indefinite period.
Yeah, it's a big ask of Cooper Cronk. He's doing a very good job at the moment, but that right-hand side is an area that Scott Hill really makes his own in attack, and that's why I think they're struggling a little bit in the attack on the right-hand side.
Slater with the kick. Knocked forward. Bit of acrobatics down here by Webster and Bell. Referee Shane Hayne didn't want any part of it.
I'll tell you what, it was a great kick, but Billy Slater shouldn't have had to be the man that was putting the kick in. The ball should have gone to Matt Orford on that left-hand flank.
Gower and Rodney, and the former bull rider ridden to the ground by Jamie Feeney. Is David McLean, not flashy but extremely effective. A great clubman out of Penrith. Here's Ross, a flick out the back. Taken by Waterhouse, who was tackled right on halfway. Tackle number 4 for Penrith. Short side, Priddis. Howland. Bumps off Kidwell. That's the last for the visitors. Gower. Midfield bomb. Campbell v Slater. And that is a knock-on off the fullback.
Billy puts him onside by running past him.
And it is a scrum. Penrith loosen feet, another opportunity for the visitors. And you can just sense, Junior, that the heads are starting to go down a little from this Melbourne side. Not quite their night, perhaps.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this game. Yeah, the bounce of the ball is not going their way. And they've certainly been their own worst enemy, conceding a lot of penalties and giving a lot of drop ball.
Campbell. Beat one, couldn't beat Bell. Dyer. Straight through the centre, making it look easy, was Luke Swain, stretched out, and the ball dislodged at the very end. In fact, our referee wants to go back and have a look at it.
Can you check the grounding back over there, mate, please? That'll be tackle 0, yes?
This will be very interesting. Luke Swain is the man who got his hands free.
Yeah, the big right arm.
The right arm was coming over the top. He ran into a beautiful hole where, once again, Turner is the man making the tackle along with Slater. And I just wonder if he just gets his leg in the road there, Slater, and he does.
20-metre restart.
Knock
on over the line. And that timeout is not going to have hurt the Melbourne Storm, who were perhaps a little down. Their body language was poor. It has also given the Penrith big men just the opportunity defensively to regroup.
But it's also another example of Billy Slater and his value to a team in defence. He gets plenty of raps for his attack, and they're deserving indeed, but he's just improving week after week. He's improving defensively in terms of how robust and consistent he is as a defensive fullback.
Good kick downfield. Wesser working for it and to it. Finds and links up with Brett Howell, and Matt Orford was screaming through. Looked to put a shot on. Wesser and Slater at it.
It's a great play there by Matt Orford to put the ball downfield so early in the tackle count at the same time. Just trying to turn them around. One thing they've got to do, though, the Storm, behind by 2 tries, they've got to start to promote the ball. That in turns then, they'll make some errors. And that will probably help out the Panthers side in this last under 17 minutes to go.
Melbourne certainly have a game breaker on the bench, and it looks like Craig Bellamy is going to inject that man into the action very shortly. I speak of Greg Inglis. Here he is, the kid from Queensland, ready to go for the first time tonight. Well taken at the back by Geyer. I think important to note, we spoke earlier about Matt Orford potentially leaving Melbourne at the end of the season. Michael Crocker from the Sydney Roosters was down here in Melbourne today talking to Storm CEO Brian Waldron about 2006 and beyond. A priority signing as the Queensland origin forward.
Mark's there.
Matt Orford just cheating a couple of metres there, and Penrith.
How lucky was that?
Yep.
Well, it was just poor work, poor defensive work from Penrith not to cover the sideline at that deep position.
Almost a gimme that he'll kick it out. That wasn't the case. Held up.
Held up, fellas. Time out. That's tackle 2.
Cameron Smith is the man. Tackle number 2. We will go back 10 metres and restart the count. 8 points in it. Just over a quarter hour remaining. Orford.
I think what you'll find is the change in the side. Inglis will go to the left-hand flank. Matt Guy will go into 5-8.
Kearns bumps one off. Ends up in the hands of Johnson, who straightens the attack. 3 metres out. Options both sides of the ruck. They go to Geyer. On to Bell. Now to Webster. 3 Panthers there. Make it 4. He is going nowhere. Last tackle. Geyer at first receiver. Up he goes. A little deep, perhaps. It bounces. Flung back. An opportunity. No penalty.
Yeah, offside, I think. Yep. There were about 3 of them offside on that occasion. It was a great kick, Matty Guy, but they were definitely in front of the kicker. And a chance gone begging.
A good touch finder there by Penrith.
Great work here. Inglis just staying in the field of play. Matt King getting the ball down. My vision, I would have gone and had a look at it and see the 10 metres, but you were pretty adamant, Junior. They were in an offside position.
Definitely offside.
And obviously Shane Hayne was in complete agreement. He had no hesitation in blowing the whistle when it would have been easy going to the video ref. Campbell. Garrett's second receiver this time on this left-hand side. Links up with Shane Rodney, who was tackled on the 30-metre line. Campbell. Wesser. Centre field. 8 points the difference. Good set of 6 with the ball for Penrith. A 47-metre gain in 5. Webster flies high. Bumped as he took the ball to ground by Joel Clinton. I thought there may have been a hint of a penalty there. Not to be. A nightmare. Fumbling there for the Storm. Oh, Craig Bellamy. That's a nightmare movie to watch.
And this is what happens to the Storm. Every time they're behind on the scoreboard, like 16 points to 8, as we have down here, they are looking to try and promote the ball as quickly as possible to try and get on the outside of their man. Luke Lewis was held back just a fraction there. Preston Campbell comes up with a tremendous tackle on Inglis, and now they get another set of six-pack.
Howland takes it almost on halfway, and here is former Nambour Crushers junior, Ben Ross. Again in jersey number 10 tonight. His front row partner, Joel Clinton. I think it's fair to say they missed Martin Lang at the start of this year. Joel Clinton guilty of not getting to his feet completely to play the ball.
They will be disappointed there. The Panthers, he was on a roll. He done a magnificent hit up there, Joel Clinton, where he made 10 or 12 metres. How close do you want to get up? Like, honestly.
It's a massive let-off that for Melbourne, because they really were struggling. They've struggled this second half. The Penrith pack in this second half has got right on top of the Melbourne pack, and as a result, Melbourne have been backpedaling, coming off their line. This gives them an opportunity, a golden opportunity now, to get themselves back into a winning position.
Slater on to King.
But honestly, Junior, how far up you want him to stand and make the play the ball? That was play on.
It was, yeah. Well, we've seen, that's the first, that's one that's gone against Penrith, but there's been 2 or 3 bad calls gone against the Melbourne Storm tonight as well.
We're going to have to get a set square and a protractor out shortly to figure out if your feet far enough. That was a tough call against Clinton. Nonetheless, the decision's not going to be changed, and Melbourne have an opportunity. From Orford to Chan, and this is the last tackle.
Orford's got to run the ball.
It goes into his hands. On to Bell. Out the back. And it goes straight into the hands of Penrith captain Craig Gower.
Well, there's just a bit too much pressure on Matty Orford at the moment. I mean, we know when Scotty Hill's out there, Scotty Hill takes a lot of the pressure off Orford, particularly when on this right side of the field. But Orford out there tonight is having to do everything on his own, and Penrith are sweating on him, putting pressure on him, and cutting down his options. That's cutting down a lot of the firepower that Melbourne usually throw at the opposition.
Trent Waterhouse playing the ball again, been extremely busy tonight. A suggestion that pass was forward. Line ball, it has been called. Gower. Attempted charge down by Dallas Johnson. Ah, Slater flies. No communication with Greg Inglis, and a knock-on results.
I think Billy Slater is a little bit tired out there. He's just given a little bit of a tap there by Paul Franze, given a hard time. Greg Inglis did come right left-hand wing, got himself involved, and maybe just slightly Billy Slater's had a look at Inglis there. Well, he just looks a bit tired from that big game.
Yeah, well, it's been a big week. It's been a big week, State of Origin midweek. Had a super game there, backed up again tonight. And he's been required to do a lot of work down this end of the field, and that certainly tires you as well.
Wesser out of acting half. Under 10 remaining. Still a chance for the Storm. They need to score twice. Critters to Gower. They've stacked the short side. Inside ball to Rodney. Back to his captain. Finds the fullback. Gower's on the right, so too Campbell. That's the way they go. Quick hands. Swain in 17. He was denied earlier. He can't be denied now. And Penrith break a 5-game losing streak here at the place they call the Graveyard.
And that all comes back on the mistake by Billy Slater. Gower was under all sorts of pressure. He's dropped the ball. They get another set of 6 at them. Here it is here. That's the mistake. They have a play on after that. And the Panthers go 2 passes wide. Tremendous ability by Luke Swain, another player who had a magnificent game and started origin. Matt King holds his head down. He's a little bit disappointed. He should have made this tackle. Probably just rushed it just a fraction. Swain using his strength, as we said before, just denied one, but there he gets one back for the Panthers.
Yeah, it was great work by Preston Campbell on this occasion as well. Catch and pass. Luke Swain puts himself into a half gap. Matty King, as you pointed out, looks very, very tired after a big midweek game as well. And then Luke Swain comes up with what looks like securing victory. A try that will secure victory. Preston Campbell kick for goal. And successful.
Looking for a Guinness Book of World Records nomination for world's quickest goal kickers, Preston Campbell. And it is time for Johnny, someone to take him to the seat, sit him down, rub him on the shoulders and tell him to relax. The Panthers have won.
No, I don't think he'll ever do that.
No.
Well, he realises that this was a make or break game for their season. They lose tonight, bang, it's gone. See you later, semi-finals. This gives them an enormous boost, not just in terms of the 2 competition points, but in terms of their own self-belief. They come down here against a Melbourne Storm outfit that was desperate to break a 3-game losing streak here at home under lights. Oh, it's on!
Kidwell involved.
Walk away, just walk away, boys.
It's over.
Walk away.
Clinton wants to go on with it, talking a great game.
Take him away, Craig. We'll sort it out. Time's out. Come over.
Yes, I got him. Tacker resented. Joel Clinton got up and threw the first punch.
Thank you. Touches come unreported.
Yeah.
We've seen nothing in the tackle except Joel's come up throwing the punch.
Yeah.
That's a penalty he's going to go choose for. Okay, let's go.
Mate, you can see the blokes are in his head.
I know that,
I
mate.
know that, but let's have a look at it.
Righto. Two, mate.
The Panthers are arguing the decision, but Joel Clinton was the first man to strike. They are claiming a grapple tackle, and from initial replay, it certainly appeared that there was a hint of that from David Kidwell. An opportunity for Melbourne here to put their 3rd try of the night on the card. Slater. Matt King. At Orford. Dallas Johnson. 35 tackles so far tonight for Johnson. Another first-class defensive display. Dyer started on the wing, has played all over the back line, including now at 5'8". Here he is. Campbell looked for the intercept as it goes back to Johnson. Tackle number 4. Good, strong shoulder in there from the Penrith defenders. It was Ben Ross, the chief tackler. Orford. Campbell! Who is going to catch him? He has Luke Lewis on his outside, but here comes Jet Boots Billy Slater. They are all just worn out. Preston Campbell runs the best part of 85 metres. A great intercept try. It is all the Panthers.
Yeah, Matt Orford just going to the line. Ball maybe should have gone over the top of the players. He likes throwing that long ball from right to left, and he got himself in between the man that were receiving it. That is Preston Campbell, and he has raced something like around 70 metres to score this try. Billy Slater, a little bit tired after the big chase he had to put in then. But this is the pass here. Orford going to the line. The man, Preston Campbell, just got in between Matt King and then raced 70 to score the try. Great work there.
Yeah, just too much pressure on Matty Orford. Penrith know he's the man that's going to create. They get up into space. They look for that pass, and Preston Campbell sweats on that sort of stuff. The Storm, they really need to have more avenues to attack, and yeah, that's the reason that Matty Orford is put under pressure. There's no one else to take the real pressure or the attacking pressure off him. And he looks very despondent, very disappointed there. But, Matt, you can keep your head up, mate. You played well tonight, played extremely well. Beaten by a better team on the night.
Preston Campbell still not going to take any time or use up the clock. Slots it straight over. And what about the face of Billy Slater, Gary? Didn't that just tell the Melbourne story? Billy the Kid was absolutely out on his feet. A big effort on Wednesday night, backing up tonight. He has covered plenty of metres, and there was no way known.
There was nothing left.
No, there wasn't.
Nothing left in the tank, and for the kid to chase that far, being around about 20 metres away from Preston Campbell. He did his utmost to, one, get there, to chase him, to try and force him out a little bit further. But in the end, the legs just weren't going. I thought they may have changed Billy Slater and put him on the wing at Inglis into the fullback position just to take a bit of heat off the young fullback.
Here's Ross still running hard. Has bumped off Robbie Kearns.
He's sick, Robbie Kearns.
He is a sick boy. One of the toughest blokes in the NRL. And just getting to his feet now. Here's Prentice. Off the boot of Wesser into the hands of Slater. It was a knock-on regardless.
Knock on back here, boys. No advantage.
Melbourne's biggest loss this year was by 20 points. That was round number 5, and it was at Penrith Stadium against the Panthers. Again, the difference is 20.
I think defensively, that just around the ruck area, especially in the second half, that's where the Panthers really have exposed them, and their big men have been getting over the advantage line. Ross, Joel Clinton, Crossman, Pulatua, they've all done some hard yards around that ruck area, and that's turned it around for the Panthers here tonight.
The Storm came into tonight in 6th place on the competition ladder. 13 games, 7 wins, 6 losses in the draw. Potentially this loss could see them slip out of the top 8 for the first time this year. And for the Panthers, they'll be elevated up to 12 points, and again potentially just 4 out of the running for the all-important top 8. On to Orford. Long ball to Kidwell. Steps one. Gets a nice ball back. On to Stephen Bell. Has he scored? He certainly has. A consolation for the Storm. A little bit of an assist as far as points for and points against are concerned, and that could very well matter. After 26 rounds of the regular season, Stephen Bell deserves a try tonight.
But he's played extremely well. He was the man in the first half that was opening up the Panthers on the right-hand side. But every time the Melbourne side have gone 2 passes wide, then turned the ball back inside, they're trying to find some holes. Great work there by Kidwell to offload the ball back up to Bell, who forced his way over. Franze coming up with the tackle, but not strong enough as Orford now looks to add the 2. He's been strong all season for them, Bell. Very, very good player.
And Gary, one of just 5 players that have played in every game for Craig Bellamy this year, along with Matt Geyer, Matt Orford, Robbie Kearns and Glenn Turner, so his endurance and durability is good as well.
Certainly
Up go the flags. 28 points to 14 in favour of Penrith. Under 60 seconds remain. After that little flare-up a couple of minutes ago, John Lang, I think, has done the sensible thing. He took Joel Clinton from the field, put Garrett Crossman back into action. You don't need to be winning a match in Melbourne and having a front rower perhaps going a little silly in the final seconds and spending a couple of weeks on the sideline.
Look, I think he was just a little bit frustrated. The front rower and Joel Clinton, nothing can be done about it. The referee and the video referee looked at it and they didn't see a problem with it. Now Jake Webster takes it forward for the Storm and about 21 metres off his own try line.
Webster to Geyer, who bumps off one. The countdown has started. And there is the siren here at Olympic Park. This round 15 clash is over after 80 minutes. It is a victory to the Penrith Panthers, who have beaten the Melbourne Storm 28 points to 14.